here we have this Silver International Masters title between Nikulin in the black shorts in the blue corner versus Ryan Toms in the black shorts in the red corner. I'm pleased to announce I'm joined by Spencer Fearon on my left here. Good evening, Spence.
Alright, Kev, how you doing, brother?
I'm very well, my friend. So it's been a night of shock so far, Spence. We've had the away corner win a couple of times already this evening.
Well, that's not a shock. That's how boxing is meant to be. Competitive fights. Sometimes certain fighters will get lackadaisical and think, oh, because I'm fighting an away guy, that it's going to be a guaranteed win. It doesn't work like that anymore, and that's what we need. And as you can see off of the back of it, you know, there's a good turnout, people, good amount in the house, because people know that they're not just going to see someone get bashed up. They're going to see a competitive fight, and that's good. This fight's going to be very good because you can see already. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that we're seeing like two southpaws coming out, but they're aggressive southpaws. You know, Ryan Toms should be doing a little bit more lateral movement, like moving like side to side a little piece more, because this Nikulin geezer, he looks pretty serious already.
He comes with a good record. He's coming into this as his 29th fight, Spencer. He's won 27 of them. He's lost 1. He's 8 of them by KO. So you wouldn't suggest that he's a concussive one-punch knockout artist. And Ryan Toms coming into this fight of his 21st contest this evening, winning 13 and losing 6, but winning 7 by KO, but also being stopped 3 times. So it's an interesting mix of styles.
Yeah, but I know it's an interesting mix. But you know, I've seen Ryan Toms on numerous occasions. He had an absolute humdinger a few years ago with Eric Olchen at the Ali Pali that was on a Matchroom show. So Ryan always comes to fight, and one thing about Ryan, he's a crafty pro now. He's getting more experience. Before he was a little bit more gung ho. Now, as you can see, look at that. He waits a little bit. That was a very good left hand to the body that he just threw there to Nikulin. And look at that, come back with the uppercut. He's improving. He's improving.
Absolutely, in that fight he was talking about Eric Olchen. I think Eric stopped him in the 5th round, wasn't it?
It was an excellent fight, though, man.
It was a very good fight. A very good fight. So warmed up for a good first round. And how have you scored it so far, Spencer? Who have you got winning the round so far?
Well, it's like boxing very subjective, and whereas Nico is backing him up, you know, I mean, it's pretty even, but Nico's scoring the more telling shots so far.
You can see it seems that Nikulin is trying to just box a little bit more, and Toms looks like he wants to try and draw it into a little bit of a fight. I think he's probably seen his record and seen this Nikulin's only stopped 8, and perhaps maybe wants to draw it into a bit of fight. There's good shots there from Nikulin, just working in the right and the left of the body there.
You can see how Nikulin, even though he's got a lot of stoppage, he's a heavy-handed puncher, because he throws with FUD. He's one of these kind of fudding guys. I mean, you see fudding kind of punches like in the gym, where they'll bang on the bag real hard. And it's not that they're concussive punches, but they're hurtful punches. And as you go later on in the rounds, they do start to tell its toll. So it'd be interesting if this fight does go long, which it most probably will, because you know, Nikulin's not really a big puncher, and Ryan Toms isn't aggressing that much like Ryan's trying to take it to the later rounds. It will be interesting.
Toms has had a few successes with that left hand to the body there, and it's an interesting first round. And how have you scored that one, Spencer?
On the first round, I was slightly edged for Nikulin, because he was aggressing more, but you know, building him. But this is a very good fight, because you know, Toms is no muppet.
No, and Toms is coming off a win in his last fight. He beat D. Mitchell in his last fight, a points win over 6 rounds. Now D. Mitchell obviously come with a losing record, so we can't really draw much of that. But he has come off a win, Toms, so he's feeling confident, and he started the first round quite nice. And I know we scored the first round to Nikulin in the first round just through. Right.
Now, you see, now Toms is now working with the combinations. He's pushing out a jab. What Tom should be doing, because he's throwing a very good left hand to the body, like he's kind of arcing like a hooking shot. But as he throws that left hand to the body, he should be coming up with a right hand to the hook to the head. That's what he should be doing. He's just trying it. Yeah. I'm reading the fights, son. I'm reading the fights. That's what he should be doing. Look at that. He's very clever.
And a nice uppercut on right hook there. He tried the uppercut in the first round, it just missed, but he got home with the left uppercut there, and just catching around with the right hook after that.
You see, good jabs, but the thing is, like, what Tom should be turning over the hands a little bit more, because sometimes it comes out, it's like he's holding the hand straight, so it seems like he's slapping with his left hand power shot, where he should be like turning over the hand a little bit. If you turn over the left hand a little bit, he'll have more success with it.
And that's one of the things that perhaps the amateurs or the new pros sometimes does, isn't it? It doesn't turn the hands over. It's one of the things you try and teach as a coach.
Exactly, because they're so quick to try and score punches. But you know, when you become a solid pro, what happens is you start sitting down on your punches a lot more. You know, this guy Nikulin, even though he's not a puncher, and he hasn't got a lot of head movement. So what Tom should be doing, Tom should be actually triggering his jab, like triggering his jab a little bit short, just to lower his hand so he could drop in his power shot left hand, because he's a southpaw.
It's the first time that he's fought in the UK, Nikulin, so it'll be interesting to see how that may have affected as well. He's fought mainly in the Ukraine, as we said earlier, he's Ukrainian, so it'll be interesting to see how he's made the transition of fighting away, and that can make a difference to some fighters.
It does, and it's been a little while since he boxed. It's been a year now since he boxed, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's been a year since he boxed, so within that year, maybe it's a little bit of rust, because like when you're talking about this guy from the Ukraine and his record, you think, oh well, would Ryan Toms want to go in there? But no doubt, Ryan's got a good team behind him. No doubt they would have sat down and watched a couple of videotapes of this guy and thought, oh, we'll take it. And at this present moment, look at that. The better.
Left hand of his own there from Nikulin and a right hand, and that seemed to stiffen the legs of Toms there. Toms come back fighting.
But that's a very silly thing that Toms is doing there. He got caught with some good shots. Now straight away you get caught with hard shots, and straight away instinctively the fighter in you will want to throw back hard shots yourself. What you should do is take time out, move side to side, then come out with hard shots, because straight away you're expecting hard shots to come back at you anyway.
Absolutely, and as he threw them shots, he pulled his chin up in the air a little bit, and that's when he got caught. So I think that turned around for Nikulin there. I think Toms was perhaps winning that round up until that, and I think that's just swung in Nikulin's favour.
It did. It was just a big shot. So like, I think it's a bit of both, because Toms, as I keep on saying, is no mug. He's a gym rat as well, who knows what he's doing. So he's doing good work, but Toms needs to stamp his authority a little bit more with confidence. Whereas like certain times, as soon as Nikulin fights, it's like he kind of switches off a little bit. Look, see as Nikulin attacks, he kind of switches off. Shouldn't be caught with silly shots. Maybe he should like kind of hold his right hand a little bit higher as he's popping out the jab.
Big swinging from Toms there, just missing. And Toms a slightly older guy at 32 years old, Nikulin at 29 years old, and it's certainly opening up into a nice, interesting contest. This thing.
Yeah, it is, but what Toms needs to do is start upping the work rate a little bit. And like he's not snapping the jab. He's throwing the jab just like not even a rangefinder, but to keep him away a little bit. He's not snapping it. He needs to put a little bit more snap in his jab. Good work by Nikulin there.
Nikulin just seems to look like he's sitting down in his shots a little bit.
Good uppercut there by Toms. You see the uppercut, they pulled him in there, kind of did like a semi-shoulder roll that came straight up with a left uppercut.
Success with that left uppercut so far, Toms, isn't he?
He has, but he needs to administer a little bit more of that, because it's like Toms is right now a little bit trapped to say, do I fight up close or do I fight at range? Do I fight close or do I fight at range? And he's getting very, very good success with the uppercut. He threw it again, he went with a left uppercut, right hook. You know what I mean? But he needs to do a little bit more of it.
Nice shot from Toms there.
Like Nikulin's trying to walk him down, but what Nikulin should be doing as he's walking him down is move his head, look for openings, because Toms is so open to a right to the body, like a right hook to the body, because he keeps on raising up his right arm. Every time he moves, he raises up his arm. Look, see, he's leaving it open to it. But now Toms is listening to me, because he just threw the right hand downstairs.
So let's spit on his head then, Spencer. If you was in Nikulin's corner right now, what would you be saying to him in between rounds? What would you be telling him to try and unlock the key that is Toms so far?
Right now, good uppercut again.
From Toms.
Beautiful uppercut.
A nice left hand from Nikulin himself there. So yeah, sorry Spencer, coming back. Right, if you was in Nikulin's corner, what would you be saying to him right now?
Applied pressure, because when he does apply the pressure, he does get success. He needs to up it a little bit more. He's waiting a little bit too long to throw off the shots, because
and he did hurt. Sorry to cut across this, and he did hurt Toms in the last round there, didn't he? Just caught him with the shots in the last round. So he does seem to have the power, although we talked he might not be a puncher.
He's stinging him. It's like I said, he's a funding puncher, but not a concussive one-hit knockout artist. But you can look at his back. He's very thick set. Looks like a very strong fighter.
And we know from the Ukrainians, the Eastern Bloc, they always come with tough, strong guys, don't they? The Eastern Bloc, the Eastern Europeans have a very, very strong, thick jawline, don't they? And the Eastern Bloc fighters.
They do, and he's the style of where he's fighting, he's been a bit wild. Toms needs to just box. He's waiting a bit too long. And the next thing, no disrespect, he's a top guy. And this is a nice thing about certain guys who are trying to pave their way or make their way in boxing. On the other side, who are like on the filming and interviewing, these things are so intrinsically important to young fighters' careers because it gets people to know them.
Absolutely, as we said, obviously like the Matchroom and the Warrens have the TV deals, and someone like the Goodwins, this could be a good platform for them to attract fighters, to be able to get fighters to, fans to watch.
Let me just break this down to you. Let me tell you this. I know because I promote, right? Without these, and they're not small hall shows, right? Because you get big, they're prize fighting all the time. It's not a small hall show, right? Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? These things build the guys to go to the next level, or something. You know what I mean? Until they get scooped up. So the good thing is that you get guys like Steve Goodwin, you get guys like Mickey Haley, you get guys like Dave Cool. We can name out a whole lot of these promoters who are building a factory line to get guys to go onto bigger stages. So we could be looking at the next superstars. You know what I mean? Right here. So we should give a lot of adulation and a lot of attention should be given to the promoters who are doing this kind of stuff. Absolutely. I think this is excellent.
Yeah, good. And that's the side of boxing that perhaps the fans don't necessarily see.
Good left hand, good left hand, but it's a good counter back from Nikulin. Right, Toms needs to throw more than he's throwing one shot. He needs to start putting in combinations. Matter of fact, they both need to start putting in combinations.
I just wonder whether Toms has felt the power a little bit and perhaps doesn't want to open up a little bit. Nikulin's obviously caught him, but he has had success from that left uppercut and obviously the right hook off of that left uppercut, Spencer, isn't he?
He has, but I'd like to see Toms start fighting with a little bit more devil, a little bit more confidence, because he's throwing some picture-perfect punches, but it's like he's delivering. He's getting caught with counters as well. Right, he does need to keep his right hand up a little bit higher. I'm trying to tell you.
I was just about to say, off the jab there, Toms, when he throws the jab, he tends to drop that right hand down to his hip, and that's where Nikulin threw that looping left hand over the top there, Spencer, just to catch him.
But you see when Nikulin's walking around now, he's not walking around because he's being smart, he's walking around to get a breather. Absolutely. So what Toms needs to do is stamp his authority on him. You know what I mean? Needs to start doubling out that jab. And when he's up close, he needs to shoe shine. Simple thing, not major. He needs to start throwing shoe shines down to the stomach, up to the head.
Absolutely, it's one of the things we try and teach in the gym as well, is expensive. That when you want to rest, you take a walk. You don't just sit on the ropes with your hands up. Take a little walk, take a little breather.
But when Nikulin is trying to take a breather, now Toms is trying to take a breather. But when he's taking a breather, that's when Toms should be stabbing him with a jab to his chest because he's trying to take a breather to interrupt his breathing. No approach it. I watch Archie Moore a lot, and Archie Moore knew every time he was trying to walk away on things, what he would do, when he fought Joey Maxson, he would just stab you with a jab to the chest, stab you with a jab to the chest just to interrupt your breathing so you can't breathe properly.
Nice shot from Toms there, and that's the one thing that makes
start putting combinations in. If he doesn't put combinations in and start pipping up that jab, he's going to slip away from him because he's slipping right now because of work rate. There is no work rate in there.
And Nikulin's fans up to the left of us, Spencer, starting to get a little bit louder. They're obviously growing in confidence as their guys go through the rounds here.
Yeah, it does, but what I'm trying to say to you is
nice one too.
He needs to start working a bit more, Tom. He does that, he throws the shot, then he puts his hip down and comes up close. You know what I mean? And he's actually inviting Nikulin to throw that right uppercut at him.
Could it be he's trying to take it into the later rounds? Could it be a tactic from Toms, or could it just be...
You know what, if it is a tactic, it's a tactic that I wouldn't want to be working with because you're gambling. You know what I mean? If you try to take it to the later rounds, but then Nikulin's got a second win, then what? You're going to be in trouble because Nikulin can carry on boxing like this. It's an entertaining fight, but it's not an exciting fight so far. And I'm looking for this to catch a fight, and I think it will because they're both trying it. They're both throwing hard shots. Yeah, you see?
It's got to come a point at one stage where one fighter decides to take this fight by the scruff of the neck, isn't it? And that's not what's really happened yet. One fighter hasn't really grabbed this belt and made it their own.
No, what will happen is both Toms and Nikulin, they'll throw 2 shots and they'll go back to what they're doing, try and take a breather and then throw 2 shots again, where they should be trying to up their work rate a little piece here.
It's been an interesting round so far. We've got Nikulin ahead. We give Toms the last. Spencer give the Toms the last round. As I say, it's been flashes from both fighters in bursts here, but as we said, we just need to see a little bit more from both fighters to really take hold of this fight.
I mean, usually Bob Williams is a little bit more involved as a ref. There's a lot of holding going on right now. You know what I mean? Bob's a very, very good referee. He should be stopping certain things. Or maybe because Bob thinks when they're up close, they're going to unleash shots, and they're not.
Just wrestling and holding.
Too much holding now. You see, when you're up close right now, you need to start throwing little short shots. Both of them need to start trying short shots. And I would like to see either one of them double up with the right hook. They're up close, double up
maybe try and kill around the side and try and get the left hook in from there? Or
Well, it'll be the right hook because it's southpaws, but still, alright, we get confused, that's what happens. You know what I mean? When you live the game so much, we think we're always talking about orthodox fighters.
Sure, absolutely. Like you say, it's unusual to see two southpaws fighting. It
is very unusual.
However, I think there's been an increase of southpaws over the last few rounds.
As my old Lynn amateur club trainer used to say to me, John Sims, who's here working with AJ Carter, that southpaw should be drowned at birth. But
I'm sure these two won't be too happy with that comment, but they haven't been drowned at birth and they're here and she ended up
that was kind of even round.
So talk a little bit more about your podcast. Did you do the toe-to-toe podcast on a Wednesday, is that right?
That's right, man. It's going on. I'm actually doing the fight. It's not the fight.
Tom's corner's pulling up. A bit surprised about that. I don't know if there's a cut there, Spencer, or
I don't. There could be something to the doctors up there. Maybe there is a cut. But not only that, but sometimes certainly all the work that Tom was doing was becoming a little bit lackluster. Yeah, I mean, and maybe the pressure was getting to him, like he was forcing his work, and there was no real fluidity to the work. You know, I mean, don't worry about it. Tom will be back. Tom's a very, very good fighter, and he'll be back. This kid Nikulin ain't nothing special. He ain't nothing special, but he can fight. I mean, he can fight. He does the basics very, very good, and he's tough. And no one can't say that he's not tough. Yeah, he's a tough man.
Tom's obviously distraught there from the fight being stopped for what we believe is a cut. Unfortunately, we can't see too well from where we're positioned. Tom's is obviously disappointed that he's missed out on the International Silver Masters title.
Hey, it's sad, but he'll live to fight another day. I mean, he'll live to fight another day. I think Steve Goodwin got a really, really good fight coming up. You got Ojaderi, who's not Ojaderi, my boy. We got Southern Area title fight at Light-Middleweight. That's coming up on the 17th. Okay. So I'll be looking. I mean, Tom's going to be in the mix to end up fighting for the Southern Area title. I know Steve Goodwin's promoting that as well, so that'd be cool. So yeah.
So there we have confirmation that the new International Super